consciousness, and then it is just like uh, uh, medicine, medicine. So it's like studying Shantideva text is just like medicine, because ordinary perspective, you may take some medication, but there is side effect and benefit, but also there's side effect. But the practicing this kind of Shantideva's text is completely no side effect, completely pure medicine, because it will help you to remove the suffering and the causes of suffering, because and also studying Shantideva text is just like like army, defeat the enemies, because when we talk about ordinary respective enemy, but you defeat the enemy, but you will come back, enemy will revenge. But when we study about teaching like Shantideva text, it will defeat the inner enemy, afflictive emotions and delusions, and then finally you will be able to understand, you will become liberated from the suffering, and then you will be able to help other sentient beings, because you eliminate suffering and cause of suffering. And it is also like studying these Shantideva texts is just like eyes. So this will open your mind, because ordinary perspective, when we have eyes, can see the things and we distinguish the shape, color, and etc. Similarly, eyes, studying these texts open the wisdom eye, which you will be able to understand the true truths, conventional truths, and the ultimate truth. And understanding this true truth will open your mind, and you will be able to remove from the samsara, and finally you will achieve enlightenment. So therefore, now here, this is first I want to talk this one. In the Buddha said in the sutra, because now because why we are studying Dharma, right? So because if you are a religious person, then you believe something beyond this life, maybe you believe future life, and then you make preparation, practice meditation, make preparation for the future. But if you are not believer, then you don't believe beyond this life, and as a result, then you will only concerned about this life, and you only work for this life. So, but different religions, especially Buddhist religions, then if you are studying Buddhist, then you believe there is something exists beyond this life. So that means you believe in next life. So when we talk about any spiritual practicing Buddhism, then we believe future life. We also believe karma and things like that. Now the question is, so the Buddha said this, maybe I will read this sutra. If I say there is a self, you will think it is permanent. If I say there isn't a self, you will think that all death is disappear completely. So this is talking about now, when we talk about next life, so then we are talking about continuation of the mind, right? Continuation of the mind and a continuation of the consciousness. And what happens is when we talk about continuation of the mind, right? So concept of existence, your life, and concept of death is we are talking about connection between body and mind, right? Body and mind. So when we talk about conception of death, so your mind is separate from the body. So we talk about conception of death. So long your mind exists connecting with the body, then we talk about you are still alive, right? So and now, so these first when we talk about concept of future life, right? We are talking about this continuation of the mind. So when we talk about the continuation of the mind, so generally speaking, we have fundamental mind and individual mind, right? Fundamental mind. So the fundamental mind is beginningless, endless, right? Fundamental mind, or the nature of mind is beginningless, endless. It is just like space. So we cannot pinpoint this is the beginning of this space, this is the end of this space. So similarly, the fundamental nature mind, or the emptiness of the mind, or the nature of the mind, we cannot pinpoint this is the beginning, this is the end. So it is beyond the death and beyond the birth, right? When we talk about death and birth, we are talking about individual, when the mind is polluted by the illusion, right? Illusion path. So when mind is polluted by the illusion path, because of illusion path, then transmigrate different births, right? So therefore, so what happened is, because we are not recognizing this fundamental nature of the mind, right? When you do not recognize the fundamental nature of the mind becomes illusion. So the mind becomes illusion, then we are in the samsara, samsara, right? So many great masters, give example like our fundamental mind is just like mother, mother, and individual or our ego mind just like child, mother, child. So what happened is when child died, mother gave another birth, So this is kind of like fundamental nature of mind is something like that, because when our mind separate from the body, then you go take another rebirth, like fundamental. So therefore, so that means when we talk about death, we are talking about who dies, who will take rebirth, right? Who dies? So your body dies, but your mind will never dies, right? It will. Body dies, our body dies, mind never dies. It will be continuation, right? So when we talk about birth, we are talking about continuation of the mind. So when we talk about the continuation of the mind, is something like like the like the base, and then you can hear, you can smell, you can do many things. And when you wake up, dream body disappear, and your mind enter into this body. So when you wake up, yeah, your mind also do many things. So go like that. So that taking rebirth is something like that, like dream body, dreaming, disappear, mind continue, enter in this body. Then you wake up, you do many things. When you go back, sleep, then so there's like when we talk about the continuation of the mind is something like rebirth. So when we talk about concept of death is mind separate from the body, but mind is continuity, right? So on this base, we have to understand this collection of the parts, the collection of the aggregates. So, for example, like the Buddha said, the collection of the parts produce the concept of vehicle. Likewise, the collection of the heaps or the aggregates give rise to the notion of a person. So when we talk about person, right, is the collection of the aggregates. When we talk about aggregates, the form aggregates and then remaining four aggregates, right? So form, then we have feeling aggregates, discrimination, aggregates of form, aggregates of feeling, aggregates of discrimination, and aggregates of compositional factors and aggregates of consciousness, right? So when we talk about aggregates of form, includes like your body, including these elements, four elements, including your body, including our senses organ, like eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, all are included in the form. So collection of form, you are able to see the person's body or something like that. Then because so our mind identifies the body, right? Mind. So this is mind identify the body, me, he, she, because it is mind designated, right? Mind. So our body is a collection of many parts. So four elements and etc. So then mind identify by he, she, or whatever you mind identify. So when mind identify the your body, so it means that so now feeling, right? Feeling. So there are feeling three different kinds of feeling, right? Pleasure, unpleasant, and neutral feeling, right? Because when you see, then on the basis of these three different kinds of feeling, then we discriminate good, bad, neutral, and then by discriminating something like that, we plant, imprint, tendency or seed, which is compositional factor. Compositional factor. So we plant the seed. So if we accumulating merit, we plant the good seed. If you are accumulating negative, we plant the negative seed and tendency. So which is called the compositional factor. Compositional factor, mental factor, 51 mental factor, also our tendency, our imprint, all belongs to the compositional factor. So the composition of factor, plant the seed, who will carry the seed is consciousness. So consciousness will carry the seed, right? So when when we talk about consciousness carry the seed, what consciousness we are talking about, right? We are not talking about who will carry the seed, right? So we in the samsara, right? Samsara. So fundamental nature of mind is, remember I told you, beyond death, beyond birth. It is just like space. No pinpoint. We cannot pinpoint this is the beginning of space, this is the end of space. Similarly, we cannot say the fundamental nature of mind, this is the beginning of the fundamental nature of the mind, this is the end of the fundamental nature. Similarly, right? So therefore, understanding this between body and mind is very important about future life. So when we talk about future life, we are talking about mind, separate mind, body dies, but mind will not die completely. Mind will transmigrate with the different forms, which is tendency, like karmic formation, coming of aggregates of form, and then feeling, discrimination, composition of factors, and consciousness. So when we talk about samsara, right? Samsara, which means we are talking about the cycle of existence. So samsara starts with ignorance, fundamental ignorance, right? Fundamental ignorance, and karma plant the seed, karmic formation, and carried by consciousness, right? So the fundamental ignorance is beginningless, right? Fundamental ignorance is, we cannot pinpoint this is the beginning of the fundamental ignorance, but we will pinpoint this is the end of fundamental ignorance, because as Shantideva said, if you study, you will be able to eliminate cause of suffering. Then when you liberate from this samsara, right? Liberate from the afflictive emotions, then you end the ignorance. So therefore, when this is just like as I mentioned before, mother giving another new birth. So mother is just like fundamental nature of the mind. Child is just like our ego mind, and our individual mind dies, our ego dies, but mother gives another rebirth. So just like the fundamental nature of mind transmigrate to another future life, right? So this is what understanding this karma. Karma is very important, right? So this is said that in understanding your present life, in terms of what you have done in your past life, and look at your present deeds in terms of what you will become in the next life. So if you believe karma, we don't need any divinations and like that. If you know where you come from. If you look this body right now, it is the result of your good karma, right? Good karma, previous good karma. Now, future, where will you go? It depends on your actions of the karma. So we don't, masters are saying you don't need to do any divination. Your action will tell you where you come from in the past, where will you go in the future. It depends on your. But many people think, karma. So if you think, Shantideva said, thinking like this will not remove the ignorance of the karma. So we have two types of ignorance, right? Ignorance of the law of causality and ignorance of the nature of reality, right? Causality, understanding karma will dispel the ignorance of the law of cause and effect. Understanding reality or the wisdom can dispel the ignorance of the fundamental ignorance, right? Fundamental. So therefore, many great masters said, when we have freedom, we have to take advantage. We have freedom. So it means, for example, like Shantideva said, a gloomy night, flash lightning can able to see the whole landscapes, colors, and something like that. So similarly, the Buddhist teaching is just like flash of lightning, like this gloomy night, so we are totally, dominated by ignorance, which is like gloomy darkness. Flash of lightning, you will be able to open your eyes, open your wisdoms, understand between law of causalities, understanding karma, right, wrong, good, bad, things like that will open your eyes. Thus you will be able to understand the two truths, conventional truths and ultimate truth. They like that. So when we have freedom, we need to take advantage, right? Take advantage of this teaching and reflect the karma again and again. If you believe karma, if you believe future, you believe karma. Right? You believe karma, you believe future life, you believe next life. If you believe, if you are religious, then you are not only concerned about this life, but you are thinking about future life. So you make preparation. So therefore, this Shantideva text is very good to understand karma, to open your mind. So let me go with now where we are here, chapter number 4. So there is chapter number 4. Now we have come to here. You need to pay attention on the consciousness, right? Consciousness, because now there are 3 points. When you are abandoning negative mind, you need to pay consciousness, right? You need to concentrate on the consciousness. When you want, create and cultivate more virtues, you also need meditate on consciousness. When you need to defeat afflictive emotions or to abandon afflictive emotions, you also need meditate on consciousness. Three points, right? So number 1 is when you abandon. Okay, so when you so there are 3 points, right? First is when you are abandoning negative, concentrate on the consciousness. The second one is when you are cultivating and creating more merit, also concentrate on the consciousness. When you defeat or abandoning the afflictive emotions, you also need to pay attention to consciousness. 3 points. The number 1 point that when you when you abandoning the negative actions, you concentrate on the conscientiousness. 5 points. 5. Number 1 is, if you do not abandon negative actions, you will continually go to the lower rebirth. Number 1, right? Number 2 is, if you are creating negative karma and Buddha said, Buddha and Bodhisattvas do have compassion, but they cannot help you, right? Buddha and Bodhisattvas give you advice, just like doctor, you should take the medicine, right? But if your actions not changing, so then Buddha and Bodhisattva will remain neutral. Number 3 point is very difficult to find this precious human rebirth. Number 4 point is, if you reborn in lower realm, very difficult to practice Dharma. Number 5th point is, if you do not abandon negative actions or negative, you will continually reborn, continuation of your reborn on the lower realm. So 5 point, right? So number 1 is, if you do not abandon negative mind, you will reborn in lower realm. So this is text explaining. Therefore, just as I have promised, I shall respectfully accord my actions. If from now on I make no effort, I shall descend to lower and lower states. So this is the Shantideva said. So that means, if we do not pay attention in our daily actions, like your actions of your body, actions of your speech, actions of your mind, key factor is your motivation, right? Your motivation. So before you speak, before you act, you should constantly conscientious and analyze your motivation. So if you want to speak something, you should check your motivation. Am I speaking right or wrong? My motivation is sincere or not? So before you act, you speak, then you must pay attention. Otherwise, for example, like because of this, the tendency of negative mind is very strong, right? So it is our negative tendency and negative mind is just like natural for us. We want to do something good, we need to put lots of effort. Even we put effort, very difficult to achieve our goal. So this indicates the tendency of the negative mind is very strong. So we need to decrease, or we need to minimize, or we need to cut the levels of our negative mind. Gradually, we will be able to build more imprint, more tendency of the positive, and we will make positive like natural. Right now, our negative mind and negative tendency are just like natural for us people. one is all the Buddha and Bodhisattva will remain neutral, right? So that means if you are continually, creating negative karma, right? Then the Buddha and Bodhisattva do have compassion but can't do anything because you are not taking medicine, So like if you are ordinary perspective, doctor give you prescription medicine. If you are not taking, it is not fault of the doctor. It is not fault of the nurse. Your own fault. If you are continuously not taking medication, you will become more sick or eventually you will die. So similarly, if Buddha and Bodhisattva do have compassion, right, but they will remain neutral because you have to take responsibility, right? And just like you need to take medication, means you need to think what Buddha said, said, you are your own master, you are your own enemy. So if I give you teaching, if you practice, you will become your own master. I will give you teaching, but if you do not practice, then you become like your enemy. So enemy means you continuously, your mind is dominated by negative mind and delusion, something like that, right? Yes. And if I continue to act like this, again and again, I shall undergo suffering and unhappy sickness, bondage, desecration, and the shedding of blood. So this is the here. So then if you reborn if you have not freedom, you will not practice. If somebody control you, you can't practice Dharma, right? Even. So if you have no freedom, then you have no opportunity to practice Dharma. So if you reborn in the lower level, how can you practice Dharma? For example, like animals, hungry ghosts, there's no chance. Because if we are continuously creating negative karma, then we are continuously planting the negative seed tendency, and our negative seed become more natural, and thus you will be reborn in this animals or hungry ghosts. Then how can you practice Dharma? if you reborn in animal, there is no chance to practice. If the arising of the Tathagata faith and attainment of your human body and my being fit to cultivate virtues are scarce, when will they be born again? So this is it's finished, right? So this next one also. Next one is, although today I am healthy, well nourished and unafflicted, life is momentary and deceptive. The body is like an object on loan to the but a minute. So this will like impermanence, right? Impermanence. So here's the problem that impermanence, That means transient and momentary life, like lightning, it fluctuates, life. So it is impermanence, and here we are not talking about the grosser level of impermanence. The grosser level of impermanence, very easy to recognize. We see how when people die. We are talking transient, means momentarily changing, momentarily. So momentarily, even 1 second, not stop, momentarily, lightning like fluctuate, and like ocean, ocean waves, because of hope and fear is never ending, so long we are in the samsara, we will never end any problem, one after one. Like the problem is just like chronic disease, So when you have chronic disease, it will take long time, right? Long time. So you need to take medication long time to cure the chronic disease. So similarly, so in impermanence, life is changing in impermanence, and like ocean waves. The moment of our joy, we talk about joy, the moment of joy and pain. Suffering are just like, the 4 seasons of our season is ever changing, like autumn, summer, winter, So our joy will not remain joy forever. Pain will not remain for pain forever. It will change because of transcendent or impermanence. So, and rest from this sadness, when will we achieve? So this is, like, when will we achieve this liberation? When will we will cross from this cycle of existence? So long we are inside this, so then doesn't matter who you are, right? Rich, poor, everybody experience pain, suffering. Everything is fluctuating, like 4 seasons of the 4 seasons, winter, summer, changing, or mind is changing, feeling is changing, recognition is changing, your relationship with others changing all the time. So this talking about remembering the impermanence, meditation on the impermanence. In Tibet, people go, when they meditate on impermanence, they go close to the river. The river is continually full. So like in concentration, like that. So this. Okay, maybe some questions.